We've all played Terminator on the Mega Drive, but is the Terminator on the Mega CD any good? Let's have a little look. The Terminator for the Mega CD was released in 1993, over a year after the Mega Drive release. With it being a CD-based game, you'd expect some huge changes, and you wouldn't be too disappointed here. The game is set alongside the film from 1984, where you play as Kyle Reese, a lone soldier from the future sent back in time to protect Sarah Connor from a Terminator, whose mission is to ensure John Connor, her son, and the leader of the Resistance is killed before he is born. You begin in the future where you must find the time machine and travel back to 1984. You are in an apocalyptic world full of T-800 machines and hunter-killers. You are armed with a plasma rifle that fires single shots, but you can find another weapon that has rapid fire. You can also throw grenades to take out Terminators quicker, although the rifle isn't too bad of a weapon. Items can be found along the way or in hidden areas such as health packs, grenades, weapons, shields and extra lives. You must climb ladders and jump off platforms to make your way to the end. Kyle can fire his weapon in 7 directions, but only 4 diagonal directions whilst on a ladder. When running up a hill or down, he will automatically fire in a diagonal direction he's running, so if there's any Terminators waiting for you at the end, you'll already be shooting at them. Once you make it to the time machine, you'll be sent back to 1984 where you'll be in the city streets, and for some odd reason, everyone seems to hate you, and will attack you with knives and molotovs. Your main weapon is a shotgun, but a machine gun can be found, which makes murdering a lot easier and fun. You may recognise some enemies here that were later used in Robocop vs the Terminator. Again, you climb ladders and jump platforms to get to the end. The next place is the Tech Noir Bar, where you need to track down Sarah Connor. This place seems bigger than I remember it, and again, everyone has it in for you and wants you dead, but you can shoot down some spotlights to crush them. Once at the end, you just need to knock down the T-800 and run past him. From there, it's a mad rush to escape the police station, an iconic scene from the movie that was intense. Here you need to make your way to the top and back down the other side to escape with Sarah. And don't worry about trying to help her, as she can happily run past the Terminator with no consequences. When you make it to the end, Sarah will just appear, so you can both make a getaway. The final level is the factory, where this combines the first movie scene with a touch of the second. There are molten metal vats that you must avoid, or it's instant death. You need to make your way across the top via a grabbing claw, which will drop you off if you don't time your jump correctly, but there are light markers that will show you where it will open. There are also yellow switches you'll need to shoot to open up paths in order to proceed. Then you'll be chased by the T-800. There's no need to shoot it as it won't affect it, instead you need to lure it into the metal press via trapdoors, which you need to shoot yellow switches to make it fall into the level below. Once it's close enough to the press, Sarah will finish the job. But is this game any good? It's a great game, which is what the Mega Drive version should have been. I didn't want to compare the two that much, but there's a clear graphical upgrade with some subtle parallax scrolling in places. Everything looks sharper and a little more detailed. Kyle's sprite looks great, with a better wardrobe selection rather than looking like a scientist. And his run animation is smooth, which again is a massive improvement. The sounds are great and the CD soundtrack is also really good, although some of the music doesn't really suit the situation you're in. The weapons aren't anything spectacular either, but it doesn't really need a huge arsenal of guns, as it's a run and gun that doesn't require tactics with the various weapons. The gameplay is very good, with some frustrating areas, and if you don't time your jumps right, then you may lose a life, or have to travel back up to where you fell off. Enemies can also knock you back, making you fall from a ledge, so it's best to shoot them from a distance before you get to their platform. Can this game be completed easy enough? If you take your time, it can be done with a bit of practice. If you charge through the levels, then you'll run into trouble or off a ledge, into a pit. The levels look nice and it reminds me a bit of Alien 3 for the Mega Drive, where the levels don't have any solid structure to them. It's just a scene with random platforms to jump across. And that's not a bad thing. I do wish it had the gore that Robocop vs the Terminator had, even if it was via a cheat code. Between each level you'll see a cutscene taken from the film that links the levels. Unfortunately they are the worst quality FMVs you'll ever see, and the sound isn't from the film. To see the final scene where Sarah delivers the classic line, "You're a terminated fucker," would just have topped this game off nicely. But we can't have everything. It's a great run and gun game that plays and controls great. Sadly, to buy a copy of this is going to hurt your bank account. But it isn't one of those games that isn't going to be a waste of money for a rare game like others out there. It's not a perfect game by any means, but it's one of the best Terminator games out there. I'll give it 76%. Thanks for watching. If for some strange reason you like my videos, please consider subscribing so I don't feel so unpopular. Do you know what I mean?